Hey there, Becky here from Inside the Square. In this tutorial, I'm going to teach you how to create a gradient text effect in your Squarespace website. Now the codes I'm about to share are listed in the description below, but let's hop on into my demo site so you can see exactly how they work. We are in my demo site. Now this will work for any text type, but it's definitely better for thicker fonts so you can see the full effect of the gradient style. So here I just have an H1 text that just says gradient text, and we're going to use that for an example. Here is the code we're going to play around with. So I'm just going to copy this code. We'll start with the main one before we add that hover effect, and let's talk about how this works. I'm going to navigate to design and then scroll all the way down to custom CSS. This is where I'm just going to paste that code. And check it out, we now have a gradient text going from red to yellow. All right, let's go ahead and make this a little bit bigger so we can see it even more clearly. I'm gonna say font size, let's go for 4 REM. There we go, now it looks a little bit bigger. My whole page scooted down, so this is an H1 as well, and now it looks terrible. So we're just working with this one right here. So I do want to mention as well, if you have this Chrome extension, I'll link to it in the description below, you can turn on the block identifier. Just grab that block ID, let's turn that extension back off, and place it in front of the text where it says H1, and now all the other H1s on my page are just fine. See how that went back to normal? It's just this one in this block that's getting that effect. So cool pro tip there. Again, I'll link to that extension below. Not affiliated with them, just use it myself. All right, so let's talk about this gradient. This is the fun part. So I'm gonna space out this code here so we can see exactly what's going on. Right here, it says background, webkit-linear-gradient, 45 degrees, red to yellow. Now we can switch up these colors and add more if we want. We can say red, yellow, purple, get a full rainbow effect all the way across the text, ends in purple over there. We skipped over green and blue, so it might not look that great. Let's add blue and, all right, cool. More like a rainbow, there we go. So it's creating that color blend for us. You can use a negative degree if you want to switch that up a little bit. And again, change up these colors to anything you want them to be. If you want it to go from, let's say red to pink, nice and subtly there, we'll close that bracket. Just a slight color shift that we've got going on, and hex color codes are great here. I can say, let's go with 50 BDB8, that's my favorite shade of blue there, and we'll have that transition into just a slightly lighter shade, 40 BDB8. There we go. Slight gradient, really hard to tell the difference. Okay, I don't really like that one. Let's have it fade from that teal to a black. All right, that stands out a lot more. Now the next line of this code says webkit-background-clip text. What this is doing is basically saying, okay, the whole background of this text is a linear gradient, but I want you to clip out just the text itself. If we remove this line, you'll see the whole line becomes that gradient. That's not what we want. We want to clip out just the text. And then after that, we've said webkit-text-fill-color transparent. That way the gradient shows through this background clip that we've added. Okay, awesome. So last but not least, I went ahead and threw in a hover effect as well. I'm just going to copy this code we created here and scroll up. Let me show you how this works. So instead of H1, I'm going to say H1 hover, and let's swap these colors around. We will add the solid black in the beginning and have it end in the teal. So now that we've changed the background, check it out. When I hover over it with my cursor, it switches. It flips the colors there. Pretty cool, right? So you can use this to change degrees as well. Let's say you just want it to be like -5 degrees. Just shift that gradient slightly. Pretty interesting. All kinds of fun stuff that you can do with linear gradients there. I do have some fun gradient codes on my website at insidethesquare.co/gradient. I've got a little walkthrough about how these codes work, so if you want to learn more about those, check it out. Otherwise, modify this to your heart's content and make that H1 text look super cool, or any text type, I should say. Again, just replace the H1 with whatever type of text you want to change. Just use the right code name there in your website. And if you want to isolate just one block like I did here, put the block ID first, okay? Awesome. Alrighty, that's it for this tutorial. Again, the codes we just used are listed in the description below. And if you want to learn more about gradients, head on over to insidethesquare.co/gradient. I have a couple of ideas there for you and a little bit more information on how to create and customize your own. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you learned something awesome. And most importantly, have fun with your Squarespace website. Bye for now. If you liked this tutorial, you'll love my CSS cheat sheet. I put all of my pro tips and custom codes specifically for Squarespace into one PDF, and you can download a copy right now at insidethesquare.co/CSS. That's insidethesquare.co/CSS.